It's spooky UFO time, guys and girls. I am going to show off not one book, but two books because they do make sense together. Normally I do these videos, one book per video, but let's speed things up a little bit with a couple of books by Whitley Strieber. Now, what we have here, the first one is Transformation. For those of you not familiar, I'll talk a little bit about Whitley Strieber in this video here. Whitley Strieber, he wrote the book Wolfen. If you've not seen that, it's a film that I think was made in like the early 80s. I've seen it many, many years ago. Very strange film. And Whitley Strieber has a very, very strange story to tell with these books that he's now done. In the mid-90s, I was heavily into investigating UFOs. I was fascinated. I still am fascinated by the whole subject, but without a huge pile of movies to watch back in the early 90s and late 80s, I got really into investigating, not going out and camping in a field or anything, but just reading up pretty much every UFO book I could find to try and crack the mystery of unidentified flying objects. Spoiler, didn't crack the mystery. Nobody has. One of the places I went to sort of learn more is I attended a UFO weekend lecture sort of series in Hallam University in Sheffield. So I can technically, I can tell people I went to university in Sheffield. It was a weekend of just non-stop lectures by physicists and not crackpots, not like tinfoil people, but the real scientific stuff behind UFO phenomena. I attended a couple of these over the years, but one of them I attended, which was I think the mid-90s at some point in Sheffield, was attended by Whitley Strieber. Now, for the movie fans out there, and most of the people on my YouTube channel are movie fans, Whitley Strieber was the basis of the film Communion, starring Christopher Walken and Lindsay Krause. Spoiler, Christopher Walken does not look anything like Whitley Strieber. Whitley Strieber looks like an English teacher, which is no offense to English teachers, but think of an English teacher, that's what Whitley Strieber looks like, not Christopher Walken. And so I was able to listen to a lecture by Whitley Strieber, and he talked all about the communion stories and how he believes he was abducted over the years, and then how his son was then periodically abducted. And it's real fascinating stuff. Whether you believe it or not is down to you. I am very intrigued by it all. I was interested to sit down with Whitley and listen to him talk over, I think it was about an hour and a half or something. I wish I still had those recordings of those lectures. And then after the event, I was able to go up to Whitley Strieber with these two books, and he signed them for me. So the first one I have is Transformation, which is a book that came out in 1988, I believe. Look at that nice little signature. To Stuart, Whitley Strieber. Signed on the book, met him in person. Somewhere in my vaults, I do have a picture of me and Whitley Strieber. If I do manage to track it down, then I will pop it in this video. But it is a book that expands the story of communion. So weirdly enough, I just opened up a random page there, and you will see the line there. In communion, I reported, contrary to my earlier assumptions, that I'd not. So it continues the story of communion. It is a fascinating read. There we go. There's Whitley Strieber. Told you. Looks like an English teacher, doesn't he? Doesn't look like Christopher Walken. Really nice guy, though. So the book here is 256 pages. He even puts his address there. I don't know if he still lives there or not, but that's interesting. Very brave. I don't think there's many people that would do that nowadays in the current climate of the crazy internet. But that was the first book that I got signed. The second one, which I think is the third in the series, again continues the communion story. The reason I'm saying it was in the mid-90s is because I think this book had just come out, and this is copyrighted 1995. So it's a HarperCollins book. To go through the plot of this is quite strange because it's an unusual plot. but it has all the details in the back of the book of all various classified UFO data and all sorts of strange stuff. I'm trying to find out how many pages actually this book is for. It looks like it's around, 285 pages for this one. And as you'll see, the signature is pretty much identical because they were signed within a couple of minutes of each other, to Stuart from Whitley Strieber. So there are quite a few books. So yeah, it's got it here. So these are the ones as of Breakthrough. So Communion, then it was Transformation, which is the one I've shown you. Majestic, The Wolfen, The Hunger, War Day, and Nature's End. So that's the books that Whitley Strieber has done. But it's one of those things, I love signed books. I like it when somebody does it in person, because then I have the memory of, oh yeah, I remember that time I met Whitley Strieber. Nice guy, interesting stories. So I would recommend, if you do like the UFO phenomenon and you want to check out some of these books, I would recommend these. I do have another couple of videos that will be on my channel at some point, if they're not already on there, that are also UFO related. So what I will try and do is tag them into the end of this video. If I remember. I will try and remember, I promise. But are you ready with these? What's your thoughts on Whitley Strieber? Do you believe in the great aliens?